You're watching ITV4, where it's time for some classic football action now in the Big Match Revisited.
More great drama? That's just the job. Trust a Trader, sponsoring ITV4 Daytime.
TrustATrader.com.
Good evening. Tonight we feature the race for the First Division Championship and the battle at the bottom as challengers Aston Villa visit struggling Leicester City in a thriller.
Got to hurry. Young giving it a try and won it. And a touch here for Melrose and he couldn't put it in.
As John Bond goes back with Manchester City to his old club Norwich, deep in relegation trouble. And a fiercely competitive match at the top of the Third Division, Charlton against Huddersfield.
It's a good shot, pushed away there. Walsh trying to get it.
And all the latest news, starting with the headlines from Jim Rosenthal.
Our congratulations to West Ham, back in the First Division. Our commiserations to Crystal Palace. They'll pass the Hammers going the other way. And we've had bad news from West Germany. Tony Woodcock is sent off and faces a 2-month ban.
But first tonight, it's Leicester City against Aston Villa. Leicester deep in trouble at the bottom. And Aston Villa coming to this match at last believing, I imagine, that they can overhaul Ipswich at the top. That, of course, after the heavy Ipswich defeat at Leeds in midweek. Villa coming to this game, in fact, just 1 point adrift. So what a vital day for them. And there to cover it at Filbert Street, where the cameras of ATV, and our commentator Hugh Johns.
Peter With's return after a 2-match suspension provides a double lift for Villa. They need him for the final sprint to the finishing line, and he needs these last 7 games to hit the goals which would give him a personal record season. A hat-trick today would do it. Leicester seek to stiffen their defence by recalling the transfer-listed Scott after a 2-month absence to replace the injured O'Neill. Grucock, out of the side since the September thrashing at Forest, came back for McDonald at Main Road in the week and retains his place after that fine result. With's return pushes Geddes out of the Villa side onto the substitutes bench, despite his vital goal against Southampton last Saturday. So it's the solid, settled side again. Consistency is a key feature in Villa's success. Only 14 players have been used so far. 7 of this team haven't missed a game. So referee Terry Morris of Leeds gets us away. Leicester City, the blue jerseys and the white shorts, attacking the goal to our left. Villa with the darker jerseys, the claret and blue. And Cowans pushes them forward now. Bremner couldn't quite get there. Break on if Young can get there, he can't. Ken McNaught will tidy that up in the first touch of the ball to Jimmy Rooney. With very well done for Shaw. Mortimer on a break. Steve Lynex back to Wellington. Leicester skipper. Push in the back by Alan Evans on Young. Wilson placing the ball. They're all lining up on the back post. A lot of space in the middle, which Tommy Williams coming in from the back post. Evans gets it clear. Cowans didn't get the ball clear. There's Wilson going in. Swain. Ball out. Liverpool, but street reverberating to a crescendo of sound now as the rival factions try to outdo each other in providing support for their team. Fryer with the throw-in, aiming for Wilson, cut out by Cowans. Fry hits that one high in the air. Young got it down. Linex. Well, the angle was narrow, but Linex thought it was worth a try, and Rimmer knew he had to get there first. Corner there. Steve Linex. Larry May got a touch. Tommy Williams. Cut out by Cowans. Now it's Morley. Shaw. Good skill. Being chased by Larry May. Fends him off. Touch over to Bremner. No, he's leaving it for Swain. Then it'll be Bremner. Low ball into Will. Well, that looked very, very promising until Jeff Scott got that vital interception. Melrose, Young, that's too long. With knocking down to Mortimer. Searing clearance then from Fryer, who goes forward to try and support Melrose. May not need it, it's Young. That's a penalty against Ken McNaught. No hesitation by referee Terry Morris. The very second the challenge was put in, he pointed to the spot. There's Young, there's McNaught, there's the tackle. Points to the penalty spot as Terry Morris, the referee. So, Steve Linex versus Jimmy Rimmer. And 1-0, Leicester City. Just about 15 minutes of the first half gone. And he took that so coolly, so calmly. And Rimmer went the wrong way. Steve Linex, his third goal for Leicester, and Leicester fans believe that their side could be continuing this remarkable recent run. Leicester City, bottom of the table in January. Since then, they've played 10 matches and only lost 2 of them, both of them away from home, and put up some sterling performances. That's Alan Evans getting in. Well, that was a sloppy piece of marking by Leicester City then to allow Alan Evans to get in that close with a shot very close to being on target. Tommy Williams forward to Linex. Good pace then, good cover then by Gary Williams. Fine bit of fullback play. That could go for a corner. And Wallington makes sure and kicks the ball clean out of the ground. So we shall have yet another ball put on. That's the third one we used this afternoon. And now he's... Well, ball number 3 has been kicked back, and this is ball number 1 back in use again. Sort of permutation, any one from 3 balls going on at the moment. But with this ball, Villa are going to have a free kick. And Tommy Williams is having a firm word from referee Morris for making a grab to stop the free kick being taken quickly. It's Gordon Cowans over the ball. They've got Shaw with McNaught. That's With. That's 1-1. Peter With. He creeps closer to his best ever record season, and that looked so easy, didn't it? He rose magnificently, did With just a glance of the head. 1-1, pick that out. So the Villa Park travelling fans feel that their side's well back in the game. 9 minutes after Leicester scored. Here we are, 24 minutes gone. And Peter With picks up his 16th goal of the season. 15 of them now in First Division matches. And With's on his way again. And he's suckered the inexperienced Paul Fryer into that challenge. And a free kick, of course, is given against the Leicester youngster. And Cowans, who the architect of the Villa goal just a moment or so ago, takes this free kick. And this time he's looking for Alan Evans, and it's much too long. Now for Morley. Touch for Bremner, and he's going to drive one. And he's going to push it in there again with Shaw. Now that partnership looking pretty sharp. With down with the chest, Shaw bang with the right foot, and Wellington was stretching. Melrose, Grucock. Here comes Bremner, he's beaten him for Melrose. Wilson goes on, chased by Cowans, the two number 10s. Early ball in, Young! Maybe took that too casually. Maybe thought that a little flick was all that was needed, but in fact he had time. See the amount of space that Young has there. He left his marker, and over the bar goes the ball. Touch on from With. May down, and Bremner's in there. And Bremner makes it 2-1 to Aston Villa. Des Bremner. Well, he's gone 24 games up to today since he last scored. That was at home to Brighton, and that will have brightened Des Bremner's day. He came in on that, and he was so sure of himself, and he buries the ball beautifully. 2-1 Aston Villa. 33 minutes of the game gone. And after a bright start, Leicester are finding it hard going. Leicester lost 2-0 at Villa Park earlier this season. Leicester down 2-1. That's Young. Oh, what a fine try. Oh, he really sold Jimmy Rimmer then. Because Rimmer set off in the wrong direction. You see Rimmer go to his right as this ball is struck, changes, then goes left, and he knew he wasn't going to get there and was glad the ball went past the post. It's With and cut out. Finally then by Scott, but Cowans is in on his own until May got there and gave a corner away. And With gives Cowans a little pat on his rump for a lovely piece of controlled football, which in all honesty deserved at least a shot from Cowans at the end of it. With the corner, now Mortimer. Near post for Evans. With fighting to get the ball, and short. Oh! Stopped by Wellington and the post and Fryer eventually. And goal number 3 did not go in the net. Beautifully flighted corner. With fell on the ball. Thought the referee might have stopped the play there, but it comes to Shaw. Left foot drive, Wellington a touch, and Fryer gets it away off the post. The corner coming in again as Wellington jumps well to pull it down from With. Grucock's header forward. Oh, and it was Bremner and Evans who got in each other's way, and now it's Young. Cowans says, come on, get it. And is it going in? Linex has put it in, and it counts. It's 2-2. A tail of errors then, all the way along. First, it was Bremner and Evans getting in each other's way, and now here it was Cowans. And Swain comes in late. Lynex gets it away from all of them and pops in his second goal of the game, so it's 2-2. So Steve Lynex having himself a time here this afternoon. 43 minutes, 2 minutes to go to half-time. The game wide open again. And Aston Villa, well, it's happened to them before, but there were two solid errors in defence. Capitalised upon by Lynex to very, very good effect for Leicester City. So, an indirect free kick, which Wilson prepares to take. Coming in from the far post, now it's Larry May, pokes it up there, and Melrose tries to get up, and did. My golly. Jimmy Melrose getting up between the sandwich of McNaught and Swain, got up above both of them. He did climb well. Well, we've gone over the 45-minute period, so we're in stoppage time. In fact, we're in the second minute of stoppage time. And we shan't have any more. Referee Terry Morris points to the tunnel. Well, that certainly was an exciting first half. And Steve Lynex must feel well pleased with himself. A penalty and a goal when Aston Villa got their shorts in a right old twist, rubbing out the 2 goals from Aston Villa. So we have a half-time score which says 2-2. And Leicester City get us away then in this second half. Leicester desperate for points. Having heard in the dressing room at half-time that Brighton were losing, they are out of the bottom 3 at this precise moment of time. Can it stay like that right to the end of the game? Ronson is there, and just beyond him, Roy McLaren. May was fouling that time on with. So Swain to take the free kick, and With goes away up just outside the Leicester penalty area. Swain's kick, easy one for May. May's there again, working now with Bremner. Swain, good cross, and With is going to score. He's done it again, Peter With. Well, what a beautiful cross that was from Kenny Swain, who started as a winger in his early days with Wycombe Wanderers and then with Chelsea, and showed with this cross right from the corner flag that he hasn't forgotten how to drop them in there. And look at Peter With coming up on the back post. Wellington's got no chance with that. It's 3-2 Aston Villa, and only 4 minutes of the second half gone. So Peter With is now level with the best ever total he's scored. And look now for Lynex coming in far post, but Rimmer had that ball. Peter With has scored 16 First Division goals this season, and there's an omen for you. The last time he did that, it was for Nottingham Forest when they were champions in 1978. With off to Bremner. Swain starting to move outside on the right again, and there he goes. And again, a long, deep cross, which With got to, played it off Tommy Williams. That's a corner. Swain becoming very much a secret weapon here. Tanking down that right side for Villa. Here's the corner. Evans got the touch across the goal. Bremner the touch down. Here comes Mortimer. Straight into and through Alan Young. Young's challenge on Dennis Mortimer, incredibly fierce. So a free kick to Villa. Wallington has asked for 5 in the wall. And they are guarding his right-hand post. Left as we look at it. Cowans and Mortimer together, and Mortimer nicks it off to Morley. And Morley scores! A beautifully worked free kick. And Aston Villa are 4-2 in front. Tony Morley makes it a dozen goals for the season. Mortimer strokes that off, and Morley really hammers that deep in there. Though Shaw might just have got a touch then. Morley will claim that, certainly. And I'm not too sure that Gary Shaw didn't get a little tiny flick on it as it went past. Now Ron Saunders down there. I wonder if he knows that he's top of the First Division at this precise moment. Young, good touch. Byrne leaving it for Wilson. Got to hurry. Young giving it a try and won it. And a touch here for Melrose, and he couldn't put it in. Oh, and Young is shouting and clenching his fists at Jimmy Melrose then, as he is entitled to do, because Alan Young again exposed a fault there with Rimmer's handling, took the ball away from him. Now, you couldn't have an easier scoring chance than he gave Melrose, and he just toe-poked it forward and it's cleared off the line. Here's the corner. And Linex! Oh, good gracious me! Well, Jimmy Rimmer going through a bit of a nightmare in goal at the moment. And that looked to me very much as though Steve Linex could have got himself a hat-trick then. Melrose helps it on. Young is there. And again Young. Going for the far post, and Rimmer got a hand to it. I've got a feeling the ball was beating the far post anyway, but I don't think Jimmy Rimmer could take any chances. That was good skills by the big lad, Alan Young. He teased his opening and hits it far post. Rimmer just turns it round for the corner. So here's the corner. Young and May go up together. And with it was who was back covering. Yet another corner for Leicester, and Leicester fans really get some sound going for their team. Can't complain. Jock Wallace and his team can't complain about the volume of support they're getting here this afternoon. It's Brucock with the corner. Rimmer palmed it away. Wilson. And Ken McNaught belted that one anywhere. Goes for another corner. Well, Leicester really putting some pressure on this defence of Aston Villa. They've now got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus the goalkeeper inside the 6-yard box, and 4 more in the penalty area as well. Rimmer two-handed punch, and Wilson! And Melrose! And Peter With comes clear. Gary Shaw touches it down, but Scott is there. Melrose keeps the ball in play. Melrose fouled Morley. Free kick. Well, that Villa goal really came in for some very, very close shaves with the pressure that Leicester were putting on, trying to get back into the game. 2 goals behind. Swain will roll that back to Rimmer. Jimmy Rimmer, Mr. Reliable in this side. McNaught belts it in there again. With holds it up for Shaw. Looks, tries it. Oh, what a try too! What a good try! And the fingertips of Wallington nip it away above the bar. Look at the way that Shaw saw his opening and lets that left foot go immediately. Wallington tips it over the bar. Great attempt then from Gary Shaw the PFA's Young Footballer of the Year. Mortimer with the corner kick. Young out, Shaw down. That was Alan Evans just stabbing the ball forward. And a break on here for Grewcock. And Rimmer foils him. Jimmy Rimmer. Well, let's see how close that was going to be. Grewcock in, shoots. Yes, that was going in. And Rimmer kept it out. A corner. Cross and from May. And that's Scott off the line by Cowans. And another corner. So yet another corner coming up. And Grewcock. This one lower. And whacked away by Swain. Shaw, the only man up front. And now Villa break out fast. It's Morley. Morley going on his own, looking for the shot. Fine shot it was, and Wilson popped that away just as Gary Shaw was going to pick up the crumbs. Now from deep inside his own half, Morley went really storming in. A shooting chance, saw it, hit it, Wallington dropped it. Shaw tried to get in, but Wilson cleared. Well, that's about 3 minutes of stoppage time played. A header by Gary with it. Shaw. And there it is. Referee Terry Morris ends it. And Ron Saunders gets up off the bench as his team go back to the top of the First Division with a thumping 4-2 win here. Peter with his 2 goals, equaling his best scoring season ever. And as I said earlier, remember he did it the last time he got 16 First Division goals was when Nottingham Forest won the championship in '78. Is that an omen for Aston Villa? Final scoreline here then this afternoon as Aston Villa go back to the top of the First Division. Leicester City 2, Aston Villa 4.
Well, I don't know if that was an omen. It was certainly a thriller, and it was a win that puts Aston Villa on top of the First Division tonight, with Ipswich having lost 3-1 at West Bromwich Albion. Here's the table. Jim, let's have the details.
Villa a point clear of Ipswich, leaders for the last 10 weeks, but Ipswich still with that superior goal difference. Ipswich lucky to escape with just that 3-1 defeat today, apparently. Ali Brown scored this early goal for Albion, sliding it in past Paul Cooper, that picture by the Sunday Mirror. Alan Brazil equalised within a minute. Brendan Batson then headed Albion in front just before half-time, and Peter Barnes then drove in the third through a crowd of players. So really everything going Villa's way today, and tonight Ron Atkinson, the Albion manager, put his money on them for the championship. Atkinson said, "I've got a feeling Villa are going to sneak it." I get the impression some of the Ipswich players are feeling sorry for themselves. They seem to be seeing things going away from them. And the major bookmakers certainly agree with that assessment. Tonight Villa are new favourites at 11-8 on, while Ipswich, well, they've gone out to 11-10 against. And looking at the run-in, Villa have an easier programme, and don't forget they've only got the championship to play for. Villa at home to West Brom, then that game against Ipswich on Wednesday week, Forest and Middlesbrough with away matches at Stoke and Arsenal. Ipswich, meantime, they've only 3 home games to Arsenal, Manchester City and Southampton, and they're away to Villa, Norwich and Middlesbrough.
And still to come tonight, John Bond goes back to Norwich with his Manchester City team, and in the third division, a fine promotion match between Charlton and Huddersfield. That's after the break. Welcome back, and for our second match tonight, a brief trip out to East Anglia for Norwich City's battle against relegation and their match today against Manchester City. And that's a match that had an extra touch to it with the return to Carrow Road of the former Norwich manager John Bond with his Manchester City side. Goal highlights then from Anglia Television. Our commentators Jerry Harrison. Norwich here are in the light shirts.
Reeves collecting it. McDonald trying to get one through to Bennett. And Downs makes a mess of that one. Bennett picks up. And a bad pass from him, and Padden has got away from Ransom. Hutchison's coming back. In for Fashanu. And Padden plays on. And here's Byron. It's in. Mick Maguire. A mistake by Joe Corrigan. But incidentally, a good piece of play by the referee, because the linesman's flag was up over that far side when Padden broke through. At this moment, as Padden gets through, the flag goes up. There it is, but the referee says play on, because clearly Norwich City in an advantageous position. Byram drives one straight in. It should have been Corrigan's, but through it goes. And two players following up. Maguire gets it in. McDonald spooning it up a bit. Hard one for Watson. Does well. Get it cleanly away. Byram and O'Neill. O'Neill breaking at last. Good ball to Byram. He's got space here. As Booth comes over, McDonald gets back to cover. Byram's in there. Penalty, Des. Protests for Manchester City, but the referee was 5 yards away. Well, there was a good run by Byram, but it looked as if the cover was in there as he ducked inside Booth, because there's Hutchison going in, there's Booth making a challenge, there's a sandwich, and he goes down, and look how close the referee is, and he points straight there. Of course, since Kevin Bond has gone, they're looking for a new penalty taker, and it's going to be John McDowell, who's never scored for Norwich City. He has now. First goal in a crisis, and coolly taken. Byram, Fashanu back for O'Neill. He's got a bit of space, but Mackenzie's after him. And McDonald's in with a challenge, but still there. McDowell, Byram on the right. He's looking for Padden and Royal. It's Padden now. And Fashanu. Touched over. It should have been number 3. Not so much from Fashanu, but from Graham Padden. But it was delightful stuff. A good cross here. Padden lets it go. Royal sees he's on the way forward. He needs only a touch, but Corrigan did a great job. Now, Fashanu headed over.
And what a welcome 2-0 victory for Norwich. And of course it had added value on a day when Palace, Leicester, Brighton, Coventry and Sunderland all lost. Palace now relegated after that 1-0 defeat at Manchester United, as Jim has told us. Brighton lost at home to Arsenal. That was a John Hollins header. And Coventry zooming into trouble, beaten 3-0 at Leeds. And in the second division,
champagne time for West Ham at Upton Park, straight after tasting the bitter disappointment of a cup final defeat on Wednesday. The Hammers are promoted after beating Bristol Rovers 2-0, really back where they belong after 3 seasons in the second division. They've been top ever since mid-November and clinched promotion with goals from Jeff Pike and Paul Goddard. The only blemish on West Ham's day came in the reserves match at Highbury, where Stuart Pearson was sent off after an incident with the Arsenal defender Chris White. So then West Ham go up, surely as champions. Notts County still lead the pack behind them, and County are at home to Wrexham tomorrow. Swansea, Grimsby and Blackburn all there on 41 points, and Swansea coming back to form at just the right time. They beat Blackburn 2-0, while Grimsby were beaten by a Jerry Francis penalty at Queen's Park Rangers. Sheffield Wednesday, with that game in hand, they beat Luton 3-1, but really it's still wide open.
Well, our third match tonight is worth waiting up for. A really boisterous game from the third division between Charlton, who came to this match in top place, against Huddersfield, who arrived in 4th place. Well, we've been to the Valley before this season and got good value then as well. For example, when Dick Tideman scored this goal against Hull City.
And it's Marwood getting it away, only as far as Tideman, who hits a terrific goal!
Well, I wonder if Dick Tideman can do it again today, and certainly Charlton will need to find some extra firepower. Because here's the Charlton team today without top scorer Derek Hales, 23 goals for him this season, but now he starts a 2-match suspension. Martin Robinson comes into the attack as Charlton bid to stay clear at the top of the third division. But Huddersfield are chasing them hard, and their team shows just one change, where Steve Kendon, their top scorer with 16, comes back after being substitute last week, and Terry Austin goes down to the subs bench. The referee today is Tony Glasson of Wiltshire,
and how things are changing here at the Valley, where they're aiming to make it an all-seater stadium. And in 5 weeks only, they've now put seats behind the goal there. And by the end of this season, they'll be behind that one as well. And so it's Huddersfield in the blue and white stripes and blue shorts attacking the goal to our right who kick off. Charlton in red shirts, white shorts. Charlton, who've lost only one at home in the league this season against Colchester. And indeed, Charlton having won their last 2 games, both of them away, after 5 without a win. And missing from the Charlton lineup today is Derek Hales, who also misses the Rotherham game as well. Tideman, almost a cup-tie flavour about it at the moment. Smith, beaten by the challenge of Lillis. Number 4, Stanton, finding Steve Kinton. On for Ian Robbins now, but Johns was out there in time to stop the Huddersfield number 10. But certainly no lack of action. And his header going straight to Walker. And Walker got the better of Brown there. Now can Robinson get his shot? And he can, and Rankin saved well. Good work out on the touchline, though, by Phil Walker in the first place, getting the better of Malcolm Brown here. So little room to get his cross in, but he got it in well. Found Robinson, and the shot saved by Rankin. Berry with the header here for Madden. Berry again. And again, that long ball, and this time Robinson is onside. He timed his run well. Sutton facing him. Finds Walker. And a corner. Phil Walker, whose place was in a certain jeopardy this week. He went down with a touch of flu. So Colin Powell will take the corner. Again Berry, and now Madden also has come forward. So Powell with the corner, floated a long way in there. And it's in there by Madden. Well, Berry had been coming up on his own. This time he was joined by another central defender, Laurie Madden, and how well he climbed there beyond Rankin and the defender on the goal line. So Laurie Madden scores, and Charlton go into the lead with 17.5 minutes gone. Powell, Robinson, here's Tideman. Warman, played in again, very active indeed there. Playing well at the moment, Charlton. Walker. A lot of movement about them coming forward, a lot of running off the ball. There's Robinson trying to get a back header in there, but he does well to find Walsh and beat Sutton there. Walsh hitting one, and Rankin had to go down. That would have crept just inside the post, and it was a shot well taken by young Walsh. Cutting on the inside here, letting fly, and as you can see, that would have just gone in. Kennedy and Brown. Robinson had gone with him. Huddersfield throw. It's quite a good long throw there, a nice backward header, and Walker and Cowling right in there, and in the end a good save there from Sutton by Nicky Johns, and Berry then forced to head over his own crossbar, but it was a particularly good reaction save there from Nicky Johns from Big Dave Sutton. As we await this corner there was Sutton with a shot poured away there by Nicky Johns and then kicked away by him. So Nicky Johns did well there, conceded only 1 goal in the last 4 games. And he looked as though he was impeded there, I'm bound to say, but there was no whistle. Johns seemed to be making a run towards that ball and got no further than about a yard or so out of his goal. Good ball by Tiedemann there for Robinson, and Huddersfield get it back in the shape of Mickey Kennedy to Andy Rankin. And they weren't competing in the National, but they got a nice view. Sutton, captain. A former Plymouth player, finding Mick Kennedy. Looks a really busy little midfielder. Well, he's got another chance here, this time finding Brown. And now they're getting something going. Robbins. Wade for Robinson. Cowling. And that'll go beyond Kindon, and it's Madden. Well, that header just about reached Naylor, but didn't have a lot to spare. Sutton being covered by Hanvey. Brown again. Kennedy. Good bit of skill. Stanton for Brown as well. Well, it looked to me as though Kindon slipped there. And another free kick for Huddersfield. This time Cowling in a spot of bother. Referee calling on the trainer and wanting a word with one of the Charlton players. I think it's Terry Naylor. No, it's Les Berry. And he's going to book Les Berry. Well, he had a long chat with the Charlton number 5 a couple of minutes ago after an earlier incident, so we've had 2 bookings now. That's Malcolm Brown, the number 2 for Huddersfield, and now Les Berry, the number 5 for Charlton. Right there for Brown. And it's there! Well, that's a really good strike there by the big number 2 from Huddersfield, off the post, beyond Nicky Johns and into the other corner of the net. And Huddersfield have drawn level. Well, we were saying that everything seems to be happening to him. He got himself booked after a couple of clumsy tackles, and with the crowd booing him, it seemed that the ball was always finding its way to him. And it certainly found its way to him at a crucial moment then. So Malcolm Brown gets only his 3rd goal of the season, and it could be such an important one for Huddersfield. Now Kennedy to Malcolm Brown again, and the throw with a quarter of an hour gone. And Norman getting involved there with Brown. Huddersfield get a throw. From Huddersfield, and what joy they suddenly have found here in South London. 2 goals in a matter of a couple of minutes have seen Huddersfield going from behind to being 1 in front. First the free kick from Malcolm Brown, and then this thundering shot from close range by Steve Kindon. There he goes, left foot, crashed into the roof of the net, and Huddersfield have got into the lead. I think his boots are itching at the moment. He'd like to be out there having a go. Derek Hales played accurately there for Naylor, and it's a corner. Well, that's got the Charlton fans hoping for something, raising their voices now, wanting to see the home team get back into this game with an equaliser. There's the cross there from Naylor. Steve Kindon heading it away for Huddersfield. Tiedemann getting in there. Played wide again for Naylor. Powell in first time. Madden had a moment or two. And Walsh had it superbly saved, or rather Smith had it superbly saved there by Rankin. Keeper did remarkably well, was so quickly off his line. The ball played very accurately through there, and Kevin Smith must have felt that he was on for an equaliser. Walker got to the byline well, and that time it was Hanvey and then Brown who put it away for the corner. So forward come the big men again for Charlton. Powell again taking up this corner. Well, that might have gone anywhere. The keeper didn't really know what was happening there, and it's played by Huddersfield straight out again to Colin Powell. It's a good shot, pushed away there. Walsh trying to get it. Tremendous shot there by Steve Britt. And Walsh, in the end, just couldn't turn it back in. Huddersfield got it away there with Sutton. What a volley that was, pushed away. And gripped under Walsh, just turning it wide. And indeed, that is the final whistle. The Huddersfield players are delighted, and well they should be. Steve Kindon, who scored the winner, shouting to his teammates to come and have a wave to the travelling Huddersfield fans. And all credit to Huddersfield, who battled away so well until eventually things came right with those 2 goals by Malcolm Brown and then by Steve Kindon after Laurie Madden, who put Charlton into the lead. A good day for Huddersfield and their fans, and a final score then at the Valley, and it's Charlton Athletic 1, Huddersfield 2.
Well, it was enough to knock Charlton off the top of the 3rd Division. Rotherham's 1-0 win at Millwall gives them the edge on goal difference, and remember, Charlton have to visit Rotherham next week. And as we look at the top of the 4th, Wimbledon now move into 3rd place after their 1-0 home win against Doncaster. Alan Cork, the scorer, his 26th of the season. Southend, of course, already promoted. And the season really reaching its climax now on a day when we've seen Aston Villa go back to the top of the 1st Division after their thrilling win at Leicester. But really, you know, at this stage of the season, it doesn't matter whether you're at the top of the 1st or battling for promotion in the 3rd. If you get a win, it's that same old feeling. You just asked Steve Kindon of Huddersfield about that. Have you ever seen a happier man than he was when he scored at Charlton today? Good night.